Right guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. In this one what we're going to be doing is tackling the shower build in the van. So let's go ahead, let's take a look. So with the shower tray, what I've done is, because these are obviously thin and they got the recessed bit in around the bottom of them, and if you stand in it, it's got no support under it. So all I've done there is cut out a 6mm piece of ply and then just put some adhesive over the bottom of the tray, and then just place that down on there and let that go off. And then what we'll do is we'll get the waste in there. So I've already drilled the hole for the waste just with a hole saw in there. All I did was to drill it was just put a block of wood underneath it and then drilled it through into the block of wood, stop it shattering the tray or anything like that, just in case. So what we got to do is silicone the waste in, but don't forget, obviously on here there's a protective film, so make sure you peel that away from round where the waste is going to fit in there first before you put any silicone on. So just get it started on the edge there and just peel that away so as it's not interfering, because you don't want to forget to do that and seal it down, then you'll have problems later on. So we get that off there and get it stuck in. So with the waste we're using, so you got your bit, this goes underneath with a rubber washer on top of it like that, so that'll be underneath the tray, and then on the inside of the tray you just got your plug hole there that just go on top of there like that. So you just put, so all we're going to do is obviously silicone all round here before we stick that in, and then I'll just put silicone on top of this grey piece there before I put this rubber on top of it, and then the same on here before I put that on top of there, because obviously this is going to be underneath the tray and this is on top. And then when you do up the nut, the screw in the middle, you sandwich them together. You don't want to over tighten that, just in case it strips the threads or anything. So we put silicone basically on there, so as you stick that down on here and then stick that, that'll stick to the bottom of the tray, and then silicone on there and plonk that on the inside, and then put the screw in the middle and nip that up and let the silicone go off. So there's the waste drain installed in there. So all I used on that was just clear translucent silicone to seal that in. So we got the waste attached there. So this is 32mm waste pipe, and then like we've seen earlier, we've got the hole in the floor there, so we can get this tray just sat in position for the moment. So we got that waste just put down through the floor there, so the tray's just sat there for now, so we know where it's going to go in position. So we've got the gap behind it there for any cables, pipes to go through there, or if you wanted to put a heater duct through the back, you can run it through there. It's a big enough gap for it to go in there. So now we've got the tray in position, what we've done is with some ply is gone around the edge there, cut some strips and put around the tray so it supports it all the way around on the edge, so the edge isn't flimsy no more, it's fully supported there, obviously all the way around, and they're just stuck down with adhesive to the actual tray effectively in here. That piece of wood just stuck in, and down there and under here, and then along the back there just put a strip of wood along the back just here, obviously because if you put the ply of the shower wall here, then by the time it gets to the ceiling the van slightly curves in, so you lose a lot of room in the shower tray itself. So you'd be hitting your elbows on it, it'd be that small. So So what we're going to do is put the wall of the shower on there and then fill this gap in here. But to do that you need something to rest your ply on, obviously, so the finish comes flush in to here. So we stuck a bit of wood just slightly down the thickness of the ply on there. Just stuck that and clamped it overnight so it's gone off. So it's on there now. That'll be the plywood going up to the wall, and then we'll have the plywood straight onto here, just stuck and glued and screwed onto with adhesive and some screws onto the battens on the wall itself all the way up to the top, because otherwise, like I said, you lose too much space in the tray if you have it, if you had the wall here. So then we'll make up the framework where the door is going to be, and that one going across there, and then we'll probably extend this out a bit further so it's not, so you've got some more room in there, maybe about here somewhere, I don't know yet. We'll have to think about that, because you might want some more room in there to put things when you're not using the shower. Just be handy if you're dry, you know, obviously a drying room, and put things in there when you're not using the shower, just keep them out of the way. So we've got a piece of plywood cut ready, so that's like the 8mm ply thickness, and then what I've done is on both sides of it brushed on some watered down PVA, so get some PVA glue, put it in a pot and just water it, thin it down. Now I've coated both sides and then let that dry, and then what we'll do is we'll get it screwed and put adhesive on there and stick it to the wall. So that's the first panel in position there, like I said, PVA on it, and then we got the next one here, same PVA on both sides of that, and then we get that one screwed up here. So what we've done is we got one side in like that, we just made up a frame. This is just out of the roofing batten, so easy enough to make, and it's obviously treated wood as well. So we just knocked it up out of that. What we've done is fixed it through into the wall, into the braces in the wall, just hold it in place there, and obviously squared it up. And then we've left it a gap here, so as the ply can just slot straight into there like that. And then the finish PVC will come down on top of the shower tray itself. So we'll put some sealant on, obviously on the ply as well, before we when we slide it in, so it'll be sealed there as well. And then what we've done is we've got the beam in here. Now this is where your shower, your bar mixer here will go on to there. So basically what we've done is we've put a piece in there, a piece of the batten, put it the opposite way round to the other ones, so it's wide here. Then we can, I've put a few brackets, this is screwed in, and it's got a couple of brackets underneath it there as well for extra strength, because there's bar mixers, if you ever felt the weight of one, they're quite heavy. Obviously the same showers you'd be using in the house, I'll show you that later on. And obviously then this will fix in the bar mixer, the bracket, the adapter will go on here, which I'll show you in a bit, and then it'll make sense then. And then the shower will go on there, and the pipe work comes straight down off the back of here down, and it go behind this piece of wood here, off of this one, because this one's wider here, so it'd be right back under here somewhere, so it goes straight down, and then you can, if needs be, clip it to here as well. Then it go off. Obviously the cold will come from the water tank up. Obviously the cold needs to go round and feed your hot water from your cylinder over there, so the cold will go in, and then it obviously comes out as hot, go back up, and then the hot will come up, and then it'll go off round then to the kitchen. So you start with the hot and the cold water going round. Obviously we've got none of that in at the minute, we're just getting the shower built up so we know how much room we've got for everything like that to go in. So we've got some ply on the wall here, like that. That's like on the other side, looks like that. So also down the bottom here we've got these pieces in there, see a piece of batten underneath each bit like that, and then they're just stuck on, then just run some adhesive round as well just to seal them off. like that. Now this side, what we got is obviously we've got the cold feed going round that'll need to go round to your heating system, whatever you've got, to produce the hot water to fill the tank. And then we've got the hot one coming back round. They're both going back round here because it'd be underneath the seat, like that. So they just run in there, underneath there, like that. That's just your 12mm pipe work, flexible pipe work. So up here, where the shower's going to go, on this bar here, see, like I said, I'll put some brackets on there for extra strength on it. That's plenty strong enough to accept the bar mixer shower. Now, thermostatic bar mixer shower, the same as you would have in your house, basically. Now, with regards to them, see, this is what it looks like. So I've got it all joined together like that, so you can see how it goes, how it's going to mount up onto the wall. Because with these mixer showers, this bit here and the cranked offset adapters in there don't come with the shower. You obviously buy these separately, so that's a bracket. It's like that, bracket for exposed shower faucet, like that. So that's that bracket there. And then up in here, I'll show you in a bit, but there's some offset adapters in there, because I'm using them because obviously it's going in a camper van. It doesn't have 15mm pipe work, copper pipe work like your house would have. Now you can do it like that if you want to, but if you're going to do it like that, see, this is the bits that come with the shower when you buy it, presume, because obviously it's going to go in a house. So you've got all this that will go on the wall like that with your 15mm pipe work coming through. Then you put this on, and you've got your olives and that for your pipe work to connect it onto this bar mixer as though it was in a house, and you was putting this pipe work in a house wall with your 15mm household copper pipe work, which obviously in here, unless you're going to connect on to 15mm pipe tails coming down to connect on from 15 to the 12mm pipe, you've got all that to contend with as well. So that's what I'm doing away with that effectively, and then you're using this bar here with these offset adapters on it. So basically what happens is this, I've just got it like this so I know when it's going to go on the wall. Obviously you've got to allow for your plywood on the wall and your finish, whatever finish you're having on top of the plywood. It could be tiles or it could be PVC, whatever. You've got to allow for that to go on there, and a gap obviously for your plywood, like that. And then all I'm doing is drawing around that underneath this beam here, drawn around the shape of this so I know where it's going to sit, like that. So that's how it goes when it's on there, and that'll screw up this bracket will screw up to this wooden beam like that, and that'll hold it in place. And then obviously these parts here go through your plywood. So that's going to go through your ply, drill it 2 holes to accept that in your plywood when you know where it's going to go after you've put this bracket in place under there. So I'll just dismantle this bar mixer part off of it and just show you it without that on there, so you can see what I'm actually talking about. So there's the bracket, and there's those adapters in there, just cranked offset adapters to accept, see, your mixer on here, and it goes into the 1/2 inch fitting, and then where this comes out down where it's going to come out, where your hot and cold feed your pipe work like that, it's going to go in here. I'm just going to use these the push fit. Obviously they screw in there, the 1/2 inch push fit. So it screws in there, and then the 1/2 inch, then that pipe, the 12mm pipe, will go into the push fittings, those John Guest fittings. So it will just be push fit into there. So that's how we get round the pipe work side of it. That's how it's going to be. So your hot and cold will come out there and go down the wall, but that's what they look like. And obviously we've got PTFE tape on their connections there. before we screwed these in and tightened them up. So they got flat parts on there, so you can put a spanner on there to tighten them up. And then we'll do the same with this. We put PTFE on here eventually when this is all mounted on the wall and the shower's ready to go in. But you need to get this bit in place so you can put your shower wall up first. And then what happens is, all you do is to cover those up, these that come with the shower, they got a thread here, so that just sits on there, and then they thread on like that first. You thread them down like that, and then obviously your nut here threads onto that. So that's your cover plate for the wall. Then all you do is, obviously with your hole behind it, you just put some silicone around the hole that's going to come through the wall where these are sitting through the wall. If the hole's slightly bigger in your wall than this, just silicone round there. When this is on, you know, and your wall's in place, silicone up. When you finish walls on, whether it be tiles, whatever, to stop any water going through inside your wall, as you would do in house, same thing. So that's how it looks anyway, and that's the parts we're using for it. So we got the bracket mounted on there, and I've just put this on just to show you that'll be the plywood obviously, and then this is just having like 2.5mm PVC on here. So if that was the case, you just back them off a little bit just to allow for that PVC to go behind them before you put them on. And then you've got your thread sticking out, what your bar mixer is going to attach to there, like that. So obviously if you was having tiles on this, you'd bring the bar under here forward more, so these were sticking out of the wall more, so you allow for your thickness of your tiles and everything like that. And I'll just show you those fittings that are going to go up under here I was talking about. So those are the fittings I was talking about, like that. So as you see, they screw in there like that, then your push fit pipe will go into there, so that's what they look like, and they just screw straight into that bar like that. And then your hot and cold will come out of those. So simple enough to do. So as you can see now, we've got the Celotex in the wall like that, and then the pipe's in there. We've got the hot pipe with lagging on it, just to obviously being the hot pipe, you want to keep as much heat in it as you can. So what I've done is just lag the hot one like that. Then we've got a piece of Celotex to go in here obviously, and then what we'll do is get this wall on here, the two holes cut out for the shower, the bar mixer to go on there, then put that wall in place. This wall isn't fixed yet, so it can move like that, just moves in and out. So we'll do slide that in there, and then finally we can get this fixed in position so it won't go anywhere. So we got the board on here, as you can see, like that, and that's fixed in place now, the wall, all solid. So that's how it looks now. Lights, we got them in temporary, obviously we need to take those back out and just disconnect them when we're doing the actual ceiling. So everything's in here, the board's all on, this is all PVA'd and sealed down the corners, around the bottom, etc. And then what we're going to do, you could use PVC board on here, sheets, you just buy 8x4 sheets, and you can get them in various thicknesses, whatever you need to go on. And then we got the vent obviously there down the bottom for the heating system to come out and blow into here, and then obviously hot air rises up and it'll go out the top, so you can use it as a drying room as well. And it obviously helps dry the shower out as well when you're using it after you've finished. So what we're going to do is tile this. I was going to use PVC sheets on there, but what I'm going to do now is I think I'll tile it. Obviously I'm not going to use household tiles because it's a moving vehicle, so the grout and everything will just crack eventually and fall out and we could use silicone as grout, probably would be another option, but the tiles alone, if you've ever felt the weight of a pack of tiles, then they're really heavy, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to use like fake tiles basically instead. I'll show you in a minute. Then all we do is when we get up round here, we'll just seal up round this hole. Round here we have to cut out, slide over like that. We just fill this with adhesive in that hole there, obviously, then tile over it. So here we have the shower door we're going to be using. This is custom made just to fit the size of the hole of the in the frame. So it's like a canvas material on both sides, so you can't see through it obviously. And then it's got a roller. The door just opens up and rolls back into there. It's got a roller. The roller will be on the inside. There's a roller in there, so it just rolls up. I'll pull it away, you see it there. There's a roller on that side. Material's waterproof, so you can spray some waterproofing spray on there as well once in a while, just to help it. And it's magnetic closer, so on this side where it closes up to, it's magnetic, so it just slides across and then just magnets shut there. So what we need to do is get that obviously installed into the frame, make sure it fits before we carry on with the tiling. Then we tile up to the door then. So as you can see, we've got some tiles on, done a couple of walls there. We also got the vent on down here for the heating, so hot air is coming out of there at this minute. That's heating the hot water. So we've got a vent on there, you can see. So we can open and shut that. See, that's the tiling, so I'll show you them in a minute. But what we've done is, before we obviously go and tile this wall and cover up the fittings, what we've done is we've got the waters on. What we've done is connected up the shower, the bar mixer onto here, to check that obviously there's no leaks in here, because when we tile over this you're not going to be able to see it. You can see it from the other side, but obviously you can get to these fittings and everything and see them. So there's water in there, and it's pressurised up, hot and cold. So if I turn that on there, you see it will come out like that. Obviously I'm not turning it on flat out, so I'm not holding that. So it's working, so we just leave that on there and make sure that that's not leaking at all. And then all we do is close the shut off valves on the opposite side. Then we can just take these off of here when we're actually tiling right up past the bar mixer itself. But we just need to check that was not leaking first, because you don't want to tile it and find out that you got a leak in the wall, because then it'd be a nightmare to get to for obvious reasons. So what we'll do, we'll carry on with the tiles, so I'll just quickly show you them and how they work. So this is how the tiles come in the packet, like that. They're self-adhesive on the other side, if you peel that white paper off, and they got a film on the front here. It's just protecting the front of them that you peel off afterwards. So they've got a top and a bottom, so there's nothing there, no white showing as such. And then at the top there's a white joint there, so that's the top. Just in case you don't know and you start putting them on any way round, they have got a top. So what you do is, all I do is, to start with, I just get a straight edge down there with a knife and just cut these pieces off. So there's a straight bit without these bits on to start with. And then if you go in there, see, I'll just put that up against the corner there to start with. And then the next one in this instance is a whole sheet, so it's one of them like that, a whole one in there for the next one, and then the next one there. Save wasting a sheet, I'm just using the offcuts off the opposite side. So I've already got an offcut, which is what I had for the other side, so I end up with an offcut like that from the opposite side. It's now going to need cutting down and fitting in there. So just cut down the straight edge down there, and then measure it, just measure from there to the wall, and then measure it from here to wherever it needs to be cut, then cut it and place it in, just cut it slightly too big, and then you can always trim a little bit off just to be on the safe side. And then obviously peel the paper off to stick them on, but on the wall, this wall's obviously, like I said, it's been PVA'd as well, but all I do is get silicone, put it on the wall where I'm going to stick the tile, and then spread it out on the wall like that, like there's some there. So you just spread that like that, put it all over the wall and spread it out, and then peel the paper off and stick it to that as well, just so you know it's waterproof behind as well, just in case, and you know it's not going to come off at a later date. And then you just continue on up the wall, basically just like that, all the way up to the top. So those tiles are, I think they're about, I'm not sure how big they are, I think they're about 30 by 30, I think, roughly. So, and they're nice and flexible, and like I said, I'm doing it like that, save doing it in one. It probably works out no cheaper to do it like that, but the difference is, obviously, with a whole panel, you've got to put the whole panel in there in one go, and you've got to cut around everything in one, all the edges in one. You've got to get it right straight away. Obviously you can make a template, but then you need a big enough sheet of cardboard or something to make a template out of in the first place, so you can do it like that. But I'm just doing it in these because it, you know, just gives it a tile effect instead of just a plain white wall, for instance. So I'll just continue on up the wall. So as you can see, all the tiling's finished. We got it siliconed up in the corners and everywhere like that. Towel in here now, hanging up. You've got the shower on the wall. You've got a mirror there as well. Shower. Lights are all on, working, everything working. We've got a vent down the bottom there where the hot air comes out, so you can just close that and open it. So it acts as a drying room. And also you've got the door, so you can see the lights are on in there. If I turn the lights on off out here, and if I shut that door, you can see you can't see through it. It's black there, so you can't see through the material. And if you obviously open the door again, then it's light inside. Like that. So that's how it turned out. So I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more van related content. Till next one, see you then.